Hi guys, welcome to The Bite. My name is Jackie. Today's video is on Yansoon cookies. These are traditional for Easter. They're great with tea to dip in, and they're just great all year round. They freeze beautifully. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me testing this recipe like 10 times. And one of those times I made a mistake and forgot to add the sugar. Little mishap, but that's what happens when you recipe test. But this was so fun to test out, and I finally got it right, and I'm here to share it with you. So let's get into the ingredients. So here's all the dry ingredients. I have my flour, salt, baking powder, sesame seeds, and these three I'm gonna talk a little bit more about in a second, but this is mahlab. These are nigella seeds, and this is anise powder. Over here I have all my wet ingredients, so just sugar, vegetable oil, and 3 eggs. So for the dry ingredients, for the nigella seeds, they kind of look like black sesame seeds, but black sesame seeds are not a dupe for this. You want to get the nigella seeds. These are very common in Middle Eastern baking. They have a flavor that differs from black sesame seeds. If you cannot find them, just use regular sesame seeds or leave them out entirely. The mahlab is just ground cherry kernels. It sounds odd, but it adds a beautiful flavor to any baked good that it goes in. A little bit goes a long way. Too much and it can become bitter. That's another one that you can find at Middle Eastern grocery stores. And then lastly, the anise powder or the yansoon. This is what the cookie is named after. It's what flavors the entire thing. It kind of has that black licorice flavor, similar to fennel, but it is not fennel. So anise and fennel are just two different things. I prefer to grind it fresh, specifically for the cookies, but they do sell anise powder and you can totally use that as well. I just think the potency is a little bit better when you grind it fresh. So that was all the ingredients. I have a stand mixer waiting for me. It doesn't reach all the way over here, so let's go to the counter and start mixing it up. So my stand mixer is ready. I'm just gonna start adding all of my wet ingredients. And then our sugar. I wanna whip all of this up, wash my hands, and mix the dry ingredients before I add them in. This looks good. I've mixed up my dry ingredients. I do this so that way there's not clumps of any one particular dry ingredient. So I'm gonna add half of this, mix it a little bit, and then add the other half. All right, the dough looks beautiful, and see how it's tacky? There's just a little bit of give to it. This is perfect. So I have a few ways that we shape these. A couple of those ways is with ajweh or dates. So this is just ground dates, and you can totally make this on your own. Just take regular dates. You just take them take the pit out of them, let them soak in a little bit of water, warm water, and just blend it all up, and you'll get basically the same exact product. This is just a convenient thing to buy. You can also find this at most all Middle Eastern grocery stores, and even some regular grocery stores as well. So what I want to do is show you how to make one of my favorite shapes. So I'm gonna take about 2 tablespoons worth of dough, and I want to well, actually let me take a little bit more. This is going to create multiple cookies, and this shape is very easy to eat, very popcorn-esque in the sense that they're small, they're just great little bites. So what I'm doing is kind of making a log and sticking my finger down the center. This is going to create a little place for the dates to go. So I'm gonna get this shaped, and I will show you once I get the ajweh in my hands.
Ajweh in my hands, the ajweh in my hands.
These ones you can pretty much make as thick or as thin as you want. So I am going to take a good amount, maybe 3 tablespoons of the ajweh mixture, roll it into a log that will fit perfectly in the cookie dough. So from end to end, you want it to fit exactly right. If you need to cut off a little bit, it's easy. So it fits just like this. So I recommend that you have a wet paper towel handy just to wipe the dates off of your fingers. So now that this is formed, I'm going to roll the dates and kind of pinch the ends of the dough together just so that the dates are completely covered. Then to smooth it out, I'm just gonna roll it. You can do as much dough or as little dough as you like for this. Then we take a knife and just cut it along the side. So I have some cut up, but let me show you. These are my absolute favorite shape. All right, take a closer look. So you can see the dates sticking out of the dough. These bake up beautifully. And when you make them, you'll see why this is my favorite shape. So I'm gonna cut these up and show you the next one. So for the next shape, I have about 4 tablespoons of dough, and I wanna flatten it out as much as possible. Flattened out to about 1/4 of an inch, and I wanna make this into a square. I'm going to cover the top of this with more ajweh. So I'm gonna take about the same amount of the ajweh, and I want to kind of spread it out. I want it to cover every part of the top of the dough. So quick tip, when you're working with the ajweh, it can get really sticky. So I have a tiny bit of vegetable oil, and you can just take your fingers, dip them, and the ajweh becomes a lot easier to work with and spread out onto the cookies. So I guess this is more than a rectangle than a square, but from the long portion, I want to do the same. I want to fold it up and be very delicate with it. All right, now I kind of want to roll it just enough to seal this part. And I want to tuck in the ends. And then spread it slightly. Now you can cut it. Let me show you the inside. There's a little swirl of the dates. These are really pretty. So if you love dates, these ones are definitely gonna be for you, the ones with the swirl. When I'm eating the ones with dates, I like these just because I like the ease of eating and I like the way they look. They're my favorite out of those. The ones that I'm gonna show you now are the ones that I gravitate to out of all of them. These do not have the dates, but the flavor of the fennel of the anise powder really shines through, and I love to eat these with tea. So I took a tablespoon's worth of dough. I made a little string of the dough, and we are going to, like the طريقة video, if you watch my video on the Arabic shortbread cookies, we make a little wreath from it. So this is a common shape. And then one shape that I came up with when one of the times I had put a little bit too much oil in the dough and it was really hard to roll and it just wouldn't stay in these circle shapes. I created these little tea cookies and I just made them because they were a lot easier to shape this way with that dough, but I just created them like this, and these are really also great to dip in tea as well. So I'm gonna finish shaping all of these and I'm gonna get them into the oven. My oven is preheated at 350 and these are gonna bake for about 20 minutes and I will show you when they're done. So as I'm rolling these up, I wanna mention they do not expand very much, so you don't have to worry about them being too close together. You can see how close mine are right now. They fit about 4 side by side. They are just gonna stay about the same size, so that's how they're gonna bake up. This is my kind of weekend, being surrounded by Yansoon cookies. Clearly you can tell which one is my favorite. These are the bomb. But like I said, if I were to pick the ones with the dates, I would definitely choose these guys just because they're the perfect little bite size. My best friend called these healthy fig Newtons, and I think I'm gonna go with that. Healthy fig Newtons, I like it. I'm gonna give these a try. They are so good. One of my favorite cookies ever. And they are not meant to be like a chewy chocolate chip cookie. These have a good crunch to them. They're great dipped in tea, especially the ones without the dates. And like I was saying earlier on, they freeze really well. So once they're cooled, you can just stick them in a plastic bag and stick them in the freezer. Take them out and you can snack on them pretty much immediately. So most of these are gonna go in the freezer for Easter. That's where pretty much all of these are gonna go. It's Lent, I shouldn't be eating these because of the eggs in them, but I had to test it out for you, right? So I'm gonna finish this little guy. I'm gonna have my husband sneak a little piece too, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please make this. I am really proud of this recipe. It took a while to make it, so I hope you give it a try. You're going to love it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the bite, guys.